Well, hello everybody. I'm back again. Today we're going to pick up where we left off last time on weekly planning. Now, what I did after the last video on this subject was I typed up what I already had. So we started off with this as the original. This was Monday. And then I had a look at it and then did a revised version. So everything remains as it was until the afternoon when I get back from the piano lesson. So originally, 4 to 5 p.m, I was doing admin again. And then 5 o'clock, feed the cats. And then at that time until 6:30, meal prep. Having had a look at it, I decided to make some changes. So instead of doing admin when I come back from my piano lesson, I have now put in 4 p.m. till 6:30 p.m, which is 2.5 hours, meal prep and feed cats. This gives me the opportunity perhaps to do a little bit of batch cooking. Now, I do like sometimes to do batch cooking in a morning. So thinking about Wednesday, that was the original. I have made a few changes. So I've got breakfast 9 a.m. till 9:30 a.m, but feasibly my breakfast on a Wednesday would probably be 15-20 minutes at most. So instead of 9:45 a.m. till 11 a.m. crafting, I've now got it from 9:30 a.m. till 11 a.m. So that gives me an hour and a half. And what I did today, for example, it's a Wednesday today, is while my candle was doing its thing and setting, I did a bit of meal prep because I am good at multitasking anyway. And I'm not one for rigidity, doing one thing at a time. I'm quite capable of doing 2 or 3 things together. I used to have a really responsible job that called on me to do several things at once. So I've still got the coffee break from 11 till 11:15 and the piano practice the same, and 1 till 1:30 lunch, 1:30 till 3:30 out, and then admin and video editing. And I'm quite happy with that. The one change is giving myself a little bit of extra time crafting. Now, today the weather is horrible, so I'm not going out this afternoon. In fact, I'm going to be doing some admin and video editing, and that will probably go on until 4:30, 5 o'clock. The thing to do is not to get too set in your ways and just go with the flow, which is why sometimes it can be a good idea to only plan, say, a week ahead or even just 2 or 3 days ahead, because we don't always know what's around the corner. Today, for example, I've had to wait in for some packages. It's also cold and very wet. I thought, well, as I've got to waiting for some packages, I might as well just hang around and do some admin and a few other bits and pieces. I could also use some of the time if I wanted, say, to practice one of my other musical instruments or even do a bit of notation. From the Monday, I'm hoping that by doing some prep of an afternoon from 4 p.m. onwards, it means that one of the other days in the week, I don't need to do much prep at all, because I can just, for example, get out of the fridge or the freezer something that I've cooked and just heat it up before Dan gets home. This would then leave me some time to do editing if I needed to, or perhaps say learn my crochet or do a bit of music practice or notation, or even a bit of family history, or even if I'm feeling really tired, do nothing at all. And that's not always a bad thing either. Today I'm going to look at what I did yesterday. Yesterday was a Tuesday. Now, I decided yesterday to go for a walk in the morning. So that's what I did yesterday. And I didn't actually practice the piano yesterday. I decided to have a bit of a day off because I've not had a very good night's sleep and I was feeling tired. So in the afternoon, I actually went down for a rest, mid-afternoon, for about an hour and a half, something like that. And don't feel guilty if you find you do need to have to go for a power nap. So when I got back from the shops, it was about 12:15. So the cat's fed as usual. And then I had my lunch from 1 till 1:30. Then I potted around for an hour or so, did a little bit of tidying up and a smidge of editing. And then I had a lay down. Now I'm thinking on a Tuesday, everything is the same. So the cats get fed and then 9 till 9:30 breakfast. And then 10 o'clock till maybe 12 noon out. I could probably give myself till even 12:30 if I needed to. That, for example, might be an opportunity, if the weather's good, where I can hop on a train and go somewhere like Westgate or Birchington, or even on a bus to Margate or the shopping centre, which isn't my favourite place to be, but sometimes if I need to get something in particular, I could do that, or a walk into Broadstairs or Ramsgate, for example. So I've got 10 till 12:30 for that. I've got that as out. And then I've got 12:30, feed cats, 1 p.m. to 1:30, lunch, and then say 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I could do admin, editing. And then 4 to 5 p.m, I could maybe do something like music. And then 5 p.m, feed cats. And then after 5 p.m, I'm going to leave that floating depending on how busy I am. So, for example, if I'm super busy with work, I could go upstairs and do some work for an hour, or I could do some crafting, for example, or I could do some crochet, or just sit and watch videos. But I'm trying to give myself more free time. So that, for the time being, is what Tuesday might look like. And as I said, remember that this may change from week to week. So then if I look at Thursday, this is a difficult one. I tend to go with the flow on a Thursday, but usually 10 till, say, 12:30, I'm out. I might, for example, go to the Petticoat Lane Emporium. But if the weather's not great or I need to do something in the garden or some gardening, I would either go to maybe the garden centre, or I'd potter about in the garden. And one Thursday in every 4 or 5 weeks, I go to see my homeopath. So if I look at, say, that particular week, I'm going again on the 6th of February. I have an appointment at 2:30. So I would leave here at, say, 1:30 p.m. till 5 p.m, homeopath. I usually get home for around 5 o'clock, maybe a little sooner. It depends how long the consultation lasts. We usually have quite a lot to talk about. Sometimes I might not get the bus till 1:45, but I like to have enough time to have a bit of a wander around Broadstairs as well before I have my appointment. And then 5 p.m, cats. And then actually, I do tend to go upstairs and do some admin. So 5 p.m. till 6:30 p.m, admin. And I know to come downstairs anyway and give Merlin his injection, which happens about half an hour after he's finished eating. And then I've got the evening free. I can either just sit and read or do some kind of hobby if I want to. Or if I want to go back upstairs, sometimes I will do, but I'm doing far too much work. I need to have more time relaxing. Now, on the 6th at 9 a.m, I actually have a doctor's appointment. I actually have an appointment for my bloods for my thyroid. So that day, I probably won't be eating breakfast till 9:30. I like to have a decent breakfast, or at least a good lunch, when I'm off to the homeopath. I have a reasonably fast metabolism, even though I have underactive thyroid gland, hypothyroidism. But Mum was the same, hypothyroidism, but a fast metabolism. So that's what Thursday might look like. So the question is, I suppose, have you started your planning? And how is it going if you have? What are your thoughts regarding my planning? I'm wondering whether there's anything I can do better. Sometimes if it's us in the zone, we can't always see wood from the trees, although to be fair, we ourselves have more idea of our schedule than other people, but sometimes it can be good to get another slant on things. I'm going to go away and type this up and see how things change, and then we can look at any changes, and also Friday. I will say I don't tend to plan too much what happens at the weekend. I like to spend time with my boy. We have this big garden project, so I'm not really making any hard and fast rules at the moment regarding a Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes it's just nice to go with the flow. But certainly I think planning for the weekdays can be a very useful exercise. If we had to do a few things that were really important though over the weekend, then I might do a schedule. So I will actually have a think about that. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon for the next one. Bye for now.